to the republic for which it stands,
one nation, under God,
indivisible,
with liberty and justice for all.
Guns, self-defense, concealed carry. This is the Patriot Defense Podcast. From the war room in Idaho's high desert, here's your host, Todd Eccles.
Here we are. It is Saturday night, and me and Tarver are tucked away in the war room somewhere in the high desert of Magic Valley. And once again, I screwed that intro up. I screw that up about every other week. But it's just me and Tarver tonight. Mr. Mark had a prior engagement that he needed to attend. I think it was a birthday party, and I think it involved cake, and I probably would have skipped it and went too.
Cake! King cake. Hey, it's Mardi Gras.
Is it Mardi Gras?
It is Mardi Gras.
You would know that, not me.
Yes.
Mr. Louisiana.
Well, if safety tips if you go into Mardi Gras. If you go to Mardi Gras on Fat Tuesday,
Take lots of beads.
you're a tourist. So you're going to be a mark.
Is that? I mean, I would imagine crime's like through the roof down there this time.
Well, it's
all the time.
It's the scamming season,
Right.
Also, but Mardi Gras has been going on for 2 weeks. So if you want to go to a parade or something like that, it really kicks into high gear the weekend before. I don't know how we got off into Mardi Gras.
I don't know. It's fun.
Oh, king cake.
Yeah.
So
The hell's king cake?
it's a Mardi Gras thing.
Okay.
And it's been going on for about 2 weeks, and it kicks into high gear probably last Friday, and Saturday and Sundays when all the craziness happens. And on Fat Tuesday you will have it's tourists that show up.
So what's the
They get targeted a little bit.
So what's the carry thing down Louisiana? I mean, what can you carry? Do you have to have a permit? It's not constitutional carry. Is it easy? Can you carry your firearm in most places? What are their laws? I mean,
I do not know. I know
you've been here for a while now.
Yeah, I've been here. Yeah, well, I never carried down there either.
Okay,
and I've been away from there for 15 years.
Besides the Sons of Guns, yeah, you haven't heard anything else come out.
That didn't work out too well.
That didn't work out well.
Yeah, they don't play with that. So yeah, whenever I went down there last, I just checked to see that they accept our permits.
We are reciprocal.
Yeah, so I'm like, cool, good to go.
And they were reciprocal to our basic permit.
Yeah.
So good deal. Well,
I need to get an enhanced permit. But
you need to get one.
I need to find a teacher, man. I can't find one.
Oh my God. He's got to find one that he respects.
I got to find one that'll take money under the table. Look here.
It's right.
Sign the paper.
I was here. I was here. Take a picture. I got the hat.
Yeah, well, on that though, I don't know. What would you think? I would think stick close together. Don't be out too late.
Right.
Stay in the areas where the police are, and turn on your Find My Location on all the family members' phone numbers.
That's not a bad idea.
Yeah, keep track.
And have a plan. If you're down there, even if it's maybe not your family, just a group of friends, I mean, have a plan, So we're going over here, we're going over there. Let's meet up over here at this time. You have the Find My Location turned on.
Yeah.
You can. I'd imagine. I've never been down there, but I imagine it's just
crazy.
Wall to wall people, all over the place.
It's
people everywhere.
It's pretty packed. Yeah.
So you do what I do. I take my wallet out of my back pocket and I slide it into my front pocket. Good idea?
Yeah.
I mean, I've never been pickpocketed, but it always makes me feel better.
Yeah, I wouldn't have anything in my back pocket. Put it in your sock or something. Put your ID.
And your
cash.
And your situational awareness. Just have your situational awareness up and be using it and pay attention. I mean, I would imagine, if you're partying down there during the day, you're partying down there at night. It's dark. It's hard to see who's who and what's going on. And people are in, I don't know, this might be something I've seen on the movies, but people are like in masks as they're celebrating.
Oh, yeah. You got to have a mask.
You may not see anything that's coming or happening, right?
Yeah, you probably won't. And they get they get packed in pretty tight. It's not only that, you got open, bars right there on the street where people are going in, buying
Everywhere.
their drinks and coming back out. And it's unique.
It's like Twin Falls Western Days on steroids, like 100 times.
Yeah.
Like for 2 weeks.
It can get bad. I've known quite a few people that went to prison for
Really?
over Mardi Gras.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. One guy was.
We like stories.
Well, it's not much of a story. I was just talking to him in jail, and he served like 40 years, and he was a tourist. Came down from Mardi Gras.
Really?
Yeah, flashing money around, big spender. Got off into an alley, and somebody tried to hold him up, and he killed the guy. Shot him.
Man.
Yeah. So, 40 years later, here he sits.
Still
Came
in
from Mardi
prison.
Gras.
So what? So
Never left.
So I guess you don't know the whole story. What are they saying he did? I know he killed the guy, but he couldn't rule defense. He couldn't rule. He just. I mean,
I don't know, and I didn't unless you read their court transcripts and
to find out exactly what happened.
Yeah, so that was just his story.
Oh no, maybe he shot once. The guy fell down, and maybe he walked over and put one in his coup de grace right in his head or something.
He might have been the one holding somebody up.
That's why he had pocketfuls of cash.
Yeah.
So, nice little trip to Louisiana, I guess.
Yeah.
I liked it. So, what have you done
thinking
this?
about king cake.
That's king cake. So, I've started my really strict eating again. I didn't go crazy, but I went kind of off track for a little bit. Now I'm kind of back on. So, cake. So, what have you done the last week that has been Second Amendment related?
I have come. Today I was shooting.
You shot some subsonic stuff.
Actually, I've been digging into try and find an easier way to clean. I have a suppressor that has baffles in it, and they are aggravating. So I've been digging around trying to find a way, and I think I'm gonna try an ultrasonic cleaner.
I would love to have that problem
What's that?
of having to clean my suppressor. Having a suppressor to clean.
Get you one, man.
I know. I should. So, do you think a supersonic cleaner is going to do it?
Ultrasonic. Yeah, I hope so.
Ultrasonic, yes.
I hope so. I've been hearing that it has. If anybody's got any experience with it, give us a shout out. Give us a little feedback here on the 800 number. I don't know where it is right now.
Oh, man. I'll let you read these off since you're going
No,
to.
you go.
Okay.
You go.
We actually, I'll look at something in a minute. But so we always have the podcast hotline. As we stumble around in today's podcast, and it sounds like we're trying to find something to talk about. We like questions, and we do. I just remember we do have a question. They didn't call in; they sent me an email, and I will pull it out here in just a minute. We'll take a look at it. But podcast hotline, you can call, leave a message, tell us you suck, get off the air, don't get on again. You can say hi from Denver. You can say,
Actually, we would probably print that out and frame it.
I would.
You suck.
If we got any type of response via the podcast hotline, we'd probably throw a little party, have our own king cake in here.
Hey, caller of the month.
So yes, right. That number is 1-208-696-4397. 1-208-696-4397. You can even email us at. Actually, you can email us, but I'll get it. You can email me at patriotdefense13@yahoo.com, patriotdefense13@yahoo.com, and you can check out the website. It's got my new blog. My latest blog is up, by the way.
The latest blog. Fresh blog.
Latest, fresh blog. Patriot. That's at patriotdefense13.com, patriotdefense13.com, and hopefully by next week, I've got a big old box of shirts. And I got online and I figured out how to put them all up for sale and made like a little for sale page. It actually looks pretty slick. Took me about 3 days to figure it out, but I got her put together. And I just got to wait for my website guy to get back in town on Monday. He should be back at work and he can put it on the website.
Hope he didn't go to Mardi Gras.
Yeah. I have someone who does the website for me. I don't understand any of that garbage.
Yeah.
So I'll let him get it up there, and I will post on Facebook as soon as I get that up there, and you guys can buy some shirts. I will say they're Patriot Defense Podcast shirts. I will say I bought quite a few shirts, but once you divide them all and down to the certain sizes and whatnot, there's not a whole lot there. So buy some, and if I'm hoping they get sold out, I will order more right away. But I got to start small, man. That was a pretty hefty little investment, just 40 shirts.
How long does it take them to get it to you?
It took them a little while, but I think they'll be a little quicker now because they have to lay out the initial design. But it took a few weeks. But I'm hoping that I can just get more coming sooner than that. So we'll see what happens.
And if anybody has any experience with that ultrasonic cleaner, give us a shout out. Let me know what's going on. What kind of solution do you use? I'm hoping to throw the whole can in there and just turn it on and let it go. That way I
see what happens. You could make us a how-to video on YouTube.
It's probably already there.
Probably. You should look up a how-to video on YouTube.
Maybe I should. I think I did, and I couldn't find anything on it. But anyway, I don't know if anybody's throwing a whole can in there. They probably, they want you to do it right. You got to take it apart. If I'm going to take it apart, man, that's half that headache.
Yeah.
Putting it back together.
So how much is cleaner this whatever cost you?
That's a tricky one because they go from anywhere from $40 to like $200. So I got a cheap one. If it don't work, I can throw it away. And
if it doesn't work, let Todd know before you throw it away because I'm sure it'll work great on brass.
Yeah, it's bound to. I think it'll work good if I take the can apart, but I'm hoping to just throw the whole thing in there.
I will see what happens.
Just sink it.
So
turn it on. Go to sleep.
There you go. Ultrasonic's ultra quiet. So I did get a question. I tell you what, though, we're gonna save that. So I got a few more questions piled up, and I think it'd be better if we were all three here and then get everyone's back. When Mark's back, and we can get everybody's opinions. So what else? You know what? There's something that we talked about on the radio show. I talked about on the radio show on Friday, and we see all this legislation coming out.
Oh man,
anti-gun legislation, and we see good locally in our state. We see good legislation trying to go forward and get past these like school carry bills and everything else. And then I go to lunch and I'm in town and I'm looking around and I see people doing stuff that just people carrying firearms and just makes me shake my head and just wonder, why are you doing that?
Really? You see a lot of people carrying firearms?
I do occasionally. And it just makes me think that we need to be responsible. We need to be careful what we do and what we put out there to the public. Because if something bad were to happen and someone were to leave their gun on the back of a toilet or, it falls out of their holster. I mean, these are all things I've seen, I've heard about. That doesn't fare very well for us when we're trying to get more gun rights.
No.
So we need to pay attention to what we're doing. Get a good holster. Learn how to carry it properly. If you take your gun, and Mark would be behind me 100% if he were here. If you are carrying a firearm, do not take that firearm out of that holster unless you are going to clean it or you are going to shoot it. You don't need to show the guy behind the gun counter. You don't need to take it out in your vehicle. You don't need to be handling a loaded firearm because what's going to happen? There's more chance that gun's going to go off because you're going to inadvertently pull that trigger. You're going to drop it. Someone's going to see it and get scared, and we know it's funny, but it makes us look bad, and then it makes your neighbor down the street who is on the fence about gun control all of a sudden decide, I don't want those those jack wagons having firearms. I remember what I saw this guy doing in the parking lot the other day.
And if you just control your impulses, keep it in the holster.
That's right.
Just stop.
I've seen,
because if somebody calls law enforcement on you, you're probably going to lose your permit.
Yeah, I've seen just crazy stuff. So we just need to remember to be vigilant, to be responsible, and just be responsible. That's all. I don't know how to stress that anymore. Just be responsible.
Don't be stupid, people.
Don't be stupid. That's right. Also, something locally here.
If you be stupid at home.
Yeah, be stupid where everyone else is stupid too.
So
it sounds like we're in first grade. Be stupid. If you're going to be stupid, be stupider at home. Anyhow, locally we have this school carry bill, right, where people with Idaho enhanced permits will be able, if it passes, will be able to carry. the state of Idaho K through 12 schools, which I think is a great thing. I have heard, obviously, there's some people who are against this bill, and I've heard even some local law enforcement are against this bill, and it is what it is. I mean, everyone's got their opinions, but
why are they saying that?
Well, what I've heard too is it's the same thing you always hear all the time. We can't.
It's going to be the Wild Wild West.
We got to know going into the schools. That's one of them. Going into the schools, we got to know who has a firearm there. We need to know this because what if something happens and it needs to be controlled, and people just aren't. I've heard this one too. People just aren't trained. They just aren't trained like law enforcement to be able to carry at these places. You know what? That's a bunch of bull crap, because I'm going to come right out and say right now, since they instituted constitutional carry in Idaho, since they instituted the Idaho Enhanced Permit, what do we hear when they started to do that, or they're trying to? There's going to be blood in the streets. It's going to be wild, wild west. You can't have people carrying with their enhanced permits, carrying on the college campuses. Bad stuff's going to happen.
Mass shootings.
You know what? That shit never happened.
Never happened.
It never happened, and it never does. It's a fear-mongering. It's a scare tactic. It's what people who don't think the average Joe should carry a gun says. And here's the thing, and I'm gonna go there, and it is what it is. But I will tell you this right now. Locally here, that's what I heard. Nothing bad has ever happened. You want to know what I have heard of, though? I've heard of law enforcement losing a freaking taser and not knowing where it is. It just fell off his belt. It's laying around town somewhere. This is a few years back. Wasn't real recent. I've heard of stuff like that. I've heard of a lot of law enforcement, cleaning their gun and it goes off because they weren't paying attention, or, just doing. I've heard a lot more about the so-called trained individual than I have local people, right? I mean, and here's another thing too. In my class, we found something to talk about, Mr. Tarver. In my classes, I'll have like 20, 30 people in a class, and I'll ask who here is going to carry every day, everywhere they legally can. And out of that 20 or 30 people, you know how many people raise their hands? Take a guess.
20 or 30.
No, about 5.
Really?
Most of them are there. They want their permit because they possibly want to have their gun in their car when they go to Nevada or when they go to Washington State, or they go to these states that are reciprocal with Idaho. A lot of them want the permits because it makes purchasing a gun a little easier. You just throw the permit up there, you fill out the paperwork, they don't have to call it in, they sell you the gun. It might shave 10, 15 minutes off the transaction. So people that think that all of a sudden you are going to get hundreds, thousands of people all of a sudden as soon as this law passes, if it passes, carrying firearms at the school, they're sadly they're mistaken. It's not going to happen.
No, I tell you what's happening right now.
People carry guns there anyway.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. If you forget, you're going to pick up your kid or something, and your handgun's in your car. Are you going to turn around, go home?
Right.
No. You're going to put it under your seat.
Yeah, exactly.
And you're going to go pick your kid up. But for them to say they want to know who has a firearm, I promise you right now, you don't know who has a firearm in there.
Well, that's how they get in there anyway. And start
you're
shooting.
Assuming that nobody has a firearm.
That's
there.
Right.
And you shouldn't be assuming stuff like that.
Well, and I think that you are going to get more people who carry there if this passes, but you're assuming that this is going to pass and all of a sudden there's going to be 200 people there that show up every day, and to pick up their kids, they're all going to have a gun.
The AR is thrown across their back.
That's not gonna. It's not going to happen. To be honest with you, most people, really, even if they get a permit, they aren't interested in carrying a firearm every day. They just aren't. And probably the 5 or 6 that do raise their hands, say, I'm going to carry every day where I legally can.
Yeah.
Half of those are going to carry because they're going to try to carry. It's going to be uncomfortable. They're not willing to put in the time, the effort. They're not willing to make the sacrifice in their clothing and how they dress and where, all that stuff that it takes to actually live the armed lifestyle. They're going to refuse to do that. It's going to be
a lot easier to carry in winter.
Yeah, it's going to be
it is in summer.
Super uncomfortable for them, and they're just not going to do it.
No.
So, and the people that do carry, the people that, out of that 6 that raise their hand in my class, the 3 that actually do, they are going to be dedicated to it. They're going to know the laws. I guarantee you they go out and shoot more than most law enforcement do. And they're going to take classes, probably some of it better training than law enforcement gets, because we know they have budgets, and nothing against law enforcement, but they have budgets. So they can't always go out and get good stuff. And that's just the way it is. I mean, you're going to have people that actually know what they're doing, carrying firearms at the school. That's not a bad thing in my mind, right? I mean, did I cross all the T's and dot all the I's on that? I mean, I know we didn't even talk about where that was going before the podcast.
No, it
just irritates me.
Well, it is, and it's the same old false stuff that you hear. It's
Right.
going to be mass shootings. You want to know who has a gun. You don't know who has a gun. The whole idea of the entire thing that we've been saying forever is the bad guys don't listen to your laws.
Right.
All right? If you're going to shoot the place up, you're not going to have a mass shooter that's sitting at home waiting for this to happen. No, it's not going to go that way.
I can carry a gun. I'm going to go shoot up the school now. That's not the way it's going to work.
No, you look at this guy who just got shot and he got plugged in the head, man.
Which
wrestling with a couple of officers.
yeah.
I don't know if he pulled his gun or pulled their gun.
I don't know. I still didn't watch that video you sent me. I'm so sorry.
Oh, well.
You sent it to me, and I forgot.
Yeah, dude. Anyway, stuff like that, it can just happen. It just goes down. But you don't know who's got a gun or who don't now.
Well, yeah, and a bad guy's not going to, I mean, you have a soft target right now. You have a school where nobody is, or they're not supposed to be, but nobody is supposed to be
Well, all
armed.
the good guys aren't.
Yeah, and so it's like, a bad guy can just walk in there, a mass shooter, whoever, an active shooter can just walk in there, and he's pretty much free and clear until law enforcement shows up, which could be 10 minutes, could be 5 minutes, could be 15 minutes.
I think Parkland kind of destroys that argument, though. You had the one guy with a firearm.
Right.
Wouldn't go in.
Right. I was just going to say, if they show up, are they actually going to go in?
Yeah.
So,
well, until recently, their policy was to wait. Now
Right.
the policy is to go in, but you had the guy in Parkland wouldn't go in.
Right.
Now, if he's not going to do it, I mean,
So
if you get people getting shot there, what do you have to lose?
Right.
Go for it.
And so if this passes, you're going to have possible parents there that are carrying, possible school staff that is going to be armed. Just because you can do it doesn't mean every teacher is going to be armed.
Right.
They
A lot
aren't
of them
forcing anybody to do
No.
anything they don't want to. I do like it, though, that in this bill, though, it does say that if you are a teacher or someone who works at the school, you are required to keep the firearm on you at all times. There'll be
So there's no lockbox.
no lockbox, no desks, no drawers, no purses, no backpacks, nothing like that. It's on your person. It's
those
on
backpacks
your
can be
body.
scary.
So, anyhow, that's the big deal in Idaho. And actually, I got contacted by he's gonna freaking kill me because I forgot his name all of a sudden. Anyhow, he's a listener. God, I'm just drawing a blank. He's a listener, though. He's, I believe, at Fort Bragg. He messaged me all the time. We talk quite a bit. He says we are actually starting to make waves over there. No, wait. Wow, it's been a long week, Mr. Tarver.
It has.
It's been I don't know if
was
it was
early
him
day,
or
too.
another. I don't know if it was him or another listener, but someone way back east said that this bill going in is starting to make waves over there. They're talking about this in Idaho way back there and what's going on here. So this is a pretty big deal, really.
Well, it's a thing. It's being introduced
You know,
in a
it's-
few places.
It's in place in Utah.
Really?
That's
Didn't
what
know
I'm
that.
told. That's what
They just shot it down in Virginia.
That's what Chad Christensen, the guy who developed this bill, who's sponsoring this thing, he says it's been in place in Utah. And guess what? We haven't had mass shootings over
Well,
there.
can't
We
be, man.
haven't had
Can't be.
blood in the streets. Parents haven't shot teachers over giving their kids bad grades. None of that stuff. It hasn't happened. Well, I mean, because
I'm
that,
resisting the temptation.
yeah. Well, I mean, that's one of the
Put in
arguments.
the snarky comment.
When I tried to get my kids to their school board to actually consider letting people carry, that was one of the teacher's comments was, and she was almost in tears when she talked about it. She goes, I have plenty of upset parents that come in and talk to me, and
Maybe you should do your job better.
yeah, I'm just so afraid that I'm going to give them a bad grade, and these parents are going to be upset. They're going to draw a firearm and point it at me, and
They can do that now.
They can, but you got more risk of that driving home. And having, on your drive home and road rage and crap
Grief,
like that
man,
happening.
these people drive slow out here, man.
They do.
Good grief.
So is that enough? Is that enough ranting and raving about the school carry law? Because
So I take it you for this law.
I'm for this law. I want this law to pass. I want to be able to go to my young son. He'll be in school next year, actually. I want to be able to, in a couple of years, go to his little like springtime singing performance that they're going to have at school, and I want to sit in there because they all do this. I want to be able to sit in there, and I want to listen to them sing patriotic songs. Okay. Patriotic songs, songs about military, songs about this, and I want to know that I can support that and I can be okay with it because I didn't have to check my Second Amendment rights at the freaking door to get in there to listen to that crap.
Well, it's ridiculous. You get this whole mentality of you drive past it, you on school grounds or anywhere close to it, and you're under different laws all of a sudden. I don't care for it at all. I mean, if you go to
it's like driving through an
watch a
Indian
football
reservation
game or anything. It changes on you. And just going to see a football game or anything, or just I don't like it. I don't like it. Make it uniform everywhere.
I agree 100%.
Yeah, stop all that stuff.
So,
and they're right now, the Democrats, man, they're making moves, huh?
Oh man, they're flexing their muscle. They're showing that we got this and we're not. This is just.
I think I kind of love Cortez. She is insane.
Oh man,
she is insane. She's really insane. She's a tyrant in the making, and she's
she makes absolutely no sense ever.
She's absolutely insane, and that's nice. That's good. What's scary is
what
some of these nuts could get some real power, and that would be dangerous.
Like Bernie.
Yeah, Bernie or her or Cortez or any of them, man. This is where they really think. I mean, and we got to see that the Republicans were all a show. They told Trump, you passed this ridiculous bill, this budget, and we'll endorse your emergency. Well, now they're all going against him. So it was all show the whole time. They're all bought and paid for it too. So.
Oh yeah, well everyone is. So here's the thing:
they're trash. They're just not as evil as the.
Yeah, everyone it was talking about. We talked about this on the radio show a little bit about the Dems and they're trying to push forward this which we know it probably won't go anywhere, but they're trying.
Right.
And then we had another caller call in and goes, "Whatever happened to that suppressor law they were trying to pass?" And we went, "You know what?
Sitting
Republicans were in power.
It passed the House
for 2 years." And they didn't do anything.
It already passed the House. It's sitting in the Senate. Mitch McConnell could bring it up, get all the Republicans on board, vote it through, bang. He won't do it.
They won't do it.
In a way, I was counting on it. I'm like, man, that'd be nice. But then I'm like.
I think a lot of people were counting on it. I think a lot of people were waiting, and they were like, don't wait to buy your suppressors. Just go get them now.
Yeah.
Because, they've tried to do this for a few years. This bill, they brought this bill up for like 3 different years.
Well, they're all talk. I mean,
they're trying to appease the masses, but they're not really going to do anything.
Well, thank you for voting against infanticide.
Yeah,
but you're not pushing the agenda on purpose. All right, you're laying down and nothing we can do, man. You're sold out. You're a sellout, and you bought and paid for is what's happening. But. What are you going to do with them, man?
I don't know.
Who are you going to vote for?
Not Bernie. Ross Perot.
I vote for Ross Perot. I like old Ross.
I ain't going to I saw a picture on Facebook come out that said, it's a picture of Ross Perot. He's like, hell with it, I'm into. after Bernie announced, hell with it, I'll run too.
Is he in? Is he running?
No. This was someone made it up. I sent it to you.
Oh, I didn't know if it was real, though.
No, it wasn't. It's not real, but I thought that was freaking hilarious. So.
Yeah, you need to stay out of it now.
Yeah, exactly. So, God, anything else Second Amendment related, or what do we got going?
We got a gun show coming up.
Oh man, we do. We got a gun show coming up on. Let me look because I've got it on my calendar here.
What?
Yeah,
and it's in the Filer Fairgrounds.
It's at the Filer Fairgrounds on April 6th and 7th. And I have yet to get a hold of anyone yet, but I'm going to go in Monday to the fairgrounds, and I'm going to see if Patriot Defense can get a table at this gun show. and we're going to sell all of Tarver's weapons at never mind. No, we're going to get a table there, and
That's awful close to school grounds there.
Yeah, I know. We're gonna get a table there. Hopefully, depends on what the price is. I think I can swing it. I think I can make it happen.
You can make it happen, man.
I'm gonna sit there.
Rolling in the money.
It's just Todd's money. It's okay.
Rolling in the money.
I think we're gonna sit there with some business cards, and I might make a good fancy, make a little banner up there, and I think I'll have conversations with people. And I'll get you like a employee pass. You can come for a little bit. Everyone's gonna want to meet Mr. Tarver. Hopefully, I can get you and Mark there, and just off and on whenever you can, and just kind of come hang out, and we'll talk to people. I may even take the little recorder. We may ask some questions and go around.
Yeah, definitely I would. I'd bring that.
Record stuff, and it won't be live, but we can record it and maybe throw it up into a podcast or something. That'd be
Man on the Street.
Man on the Street. That's
Man at the gun show.
Oh man, I still want to interview the guy making the dragon handle knives and the throwing stars.
I'll have to buy one.
Sweet dude.
I want one with a big old, either holding a big egg at the end, like a ruby, or ruby eyes.
Oh, I bet we can find. I bet you we can find. And if there's no ruby eyes there, I'll make sure I bring my red Sharpie.
They must have made millions of those, man. Everybody remembers them from being a kid at every little.
They're still making them, dude.
God, why?
Because you want to buy one still, because you haven't bought one yet.
Well, at least they're not doing like Benchmade, cutting up guns.
Did you read that article?
I did.
Did you read into that? Any more articles? Tell us about that. So what was happening there?
Well, it was actually pretty funny. They did it on Facebook or Twitter, I don't remember, but a police department did a shout out to Benchmade. Thank you for helping us cut up these guns that we had confiscated, and it caused a little bit of an uproar, and the police department came back and they deleted the post and said,
quick,
hey, look, this is stuff that's already been
backtracking.
Yeah, we had court orders. We got to do it. All this stuff because nobody was happy with that, with all the confiscation talk we got going on.
So why was Benchmark? Do they just using some of their tools and?
Yeah, I'm sure they got
big saws.
Yeah, it's probably local and.
Gotcha.
Just went over to one of their, and they chopped them up for them. But I'm like, yeah, you don't really want that.
It's a little bad press.
Yeah, you don't. Thanks for the shout out, but keep that, bro. Don't tell nobody that.
Oh man,
but they could have found another way to do it. I mean, they don't need Benchmade,
right?
Really, you can't destroy a gun. I've destroyed lots of them.
Well, do you got any interesting stories?
Wasn't even trying to.
Well, that sounds like there's some stories behind this.
No. I didn't really destroy any. Maybe. Well, I did destroy that Ruger.
What Ruger?
Ruger Mark III. I say destroy it. It wasn't destroyed. It was just simply non-functional, because it was the older model where you pull the pin and flip it over and turn it around and. Oh, God, it's the most awful thing you ever seen in your life. It's such crap. It's a nice little shooter.
So what'd you do with it?
Oh, God.
What'd you do to it?
After a couple hours of trying to get it back together, I started forcing it back together.
Oh, that's right.
And then it didn't function anymore. And now Ruger has the Mark IV.
And you got rid of that one, though, right?
Yeah, I got rid of it. So now they have the Mark IV with the easy takedown. But the Mark III had a nice trigger. So what do they do with the Mark IV? They put a crap trigger in it. So now the Mark V will be coming soon. It'll have the easy takedown and a nice trigger.
The best of both worlds.
Yeah, so you got to buy another one.
It's a marketing ploy.
It is.
That's all it is.
It is. Let's crap this thing up.
Big marketing ploy.
Let's give them one thing at a time. Then we'll come out with the Mark V, the Mark VI, the Mark VII. Man, they already got the Mark 10. You know they got that.
They ease everyone into it. Next thing you know, they're spending lots. Kind of sounds like the freaking company we work for.
It kind of does.
They ease us into all this crap and take our money. Oh man! So you visit deep dark places on the web that I don't go to. Anything else? Any other news stories pop up?
Not too much. I know in Virginia they just shot down the state house. Virginia House blocks bill to allow guns in church. Come on, man. If you can't bring a gun to church, come on, man.
That's
clinging to guns and Bibles, man. You're
That's
supposed
right.
to be able to bring a gun to church.
My church says that they don't want me to have a gun there.
I'm not going to tell you. I'm just sitting there with it.
I just take it anyway, or I just quit going, one of the two, and I chose both. But anyhow,
Well, I'm going to church. I'm packing.
oh yeah, I do too. In fact, I got a special church holster and a special church gun.
Yeah, well, you're a target, man. There's people out there that they're insane, and they want to target these churches.
Right.
I'm like, nope, ain't gonna be this one.
You know, you look at we've talked about churches before, but you look at these. Those actually might have been on some of the episodes that no longer exist. You weren't on there yet.
Okay,
But when you look at churches, you know, and I'm not trying to pick on religion or anything like that, because I believe what I believe, and listeners believe what they believe. But you know, don't carry at churches, is what they're going to tell you. Don't carry at churches because this is the house of the Lord and He will protect you. Well, you know what? You got to do for yourself too a little bit. And if I've got a gun and I'm allowed to carry it, I'm going to freaking carry it to the church. I'm not going to. I don't know. Do you see where I'm going with that?
well,
A little bit.
Yeah, that's where your freedom comes from. Our freedom is not from the government. We have God-given rights that our government was built to protect those rights.
Right.
They're not there to give us rights. And right now we have pretty much a technocracy taking place where people are defending a private business for censoring you. No, they control the marketplace. They control the town square. So I disagree with that. But yeah, you should be able to bring a gun to church. Not only that, wow, we got a killer out there.
We got a dog on the loose out
He's
there.
trying to get in. Well, people don't read.
Well, what I you know,
Jesus said, "Sell your cloak and buy a sword."
Right.
All right.
There you go.
I'm gonna drop some scripture. There you go. Bang. Pow.
Well, I'm going to
Jesus
treat.
said, "Get it."
I'm going to treat a church. If a church says we forbid you from bringing your firearm in here, guess
Nope,
what?
I'm not going
I am
there.
going to treat that church just like I would the pizzeria down the street.
Commies.
That says I can't take my firearm, and I'm gonna go find another church. I'm going to stay at home and read the Bible. I'm going to avoid it. I'm not gonna. There's like two places I go where I can't carry a gun that I have to
school
go
and
in.
the church.
The school, no. I won't go in the school. I mean, I go to the school. I have to go to the school. My kids are there
Right.
without a firearm right now. But that's fixing to hopefully to be changed. And the freaking post office. Sometimes I just have to go to the post office. And you're not supposed to carry a firearm in the
That's
post
ridiculous
office as
too.
well.
Why can't you carry a gun at the post office, man? If you're gonna get shot at the post office, it's gonna be a postal employee.
Yeah, exactly.
That's where the term "going postal" come from.
Exactly.
I mean, those dudes are crazy.
They can be. And they got disgruntled customers because they keep jacking up the price of stamps.
Yeah, what's up with them stamps?
It's like 50 cents a piece now, or
It's ridiculous.
55 cents, or some crap like that.
I don't even know. I just buy the forever because I know y'all gonna change it in 6 weeks.
Yeah,
Y'all
exactly.
keep raising the prices,
Exactly.
and then I got to go buy 2-cent stamps to add to it. Bunch of crap.
So, okay. Well, we talked about a lot of stuff we weren't planning on talking about. We got to get in the flow, man.
we got sidetracked a little bit, and
It's okay.
we're nailing it down. We're gonna get
We're
disciplined and get everything together. But
we keep saying that.
yeah,
We keep saying
Yeah.
that, but that's no fun.
I know.
It's more fun just to fly by the seat of your pants a little bit.
Hey,
See-
I was actually thinking about making a podcast.
Really?
Yeah,
What's it going to be about?
it'd be about everything. Be about everything, man.
I want in on that.
I probably won't use my name.
It's going to be, I bet you'd get some listeners. Tarver'd be on there like, tucked away in my closet. It's dark. I'm sitting on the floor.
You know, there's a thin line between between genius and insanity, and I plan on bouncing around back and forth on that line.
You're going to sit there with one of those headphone mics on, and you're going to look in the corner. It's going to be like jacked into your phone. It's going to be like, I just need a phone and my headset. I'm good to go.
Yeah, just I don't know, put my thoughts out there.
I like it. I'll be your first listener, dude.
You might be the only one.
It might be the only. I'll share it with everybody.
I better record at least 20 or 30 of them and then publish them.
Are you gonna do like a voice disguiser thing and put something over your mouth?
Coming to you from underneath the chemtrail.
You sound like Darth Vader.
Yeah. Good grief.
The dogs are killing us out there.
Yeah, big old guy.
What else? What else do we need to talk? I know we talked about some other stuff, but we didn't get it on the podcast yet. I think we kind of jumped over it and forgot about it a little bit. Okay, locally. And I was asked this question. I don't go a lot of places. I typically go to work and go home. But is there any places locally here in town, like businesses that you've seen that have, not like federal buildings or post offices, but buildings, private businesses that you have seen that have like no carry?
I have not.
I have not
I don't
either.
look for them, and if they're there, I'm going to make sure I don't see them.
So here's the thing.
I ain't paying attention to that crap.
In the state of Idaho, if it's a private-owned business, you can actually carry past the sign, and it's not. If they see it, if they don't see it, great. If they see it and they ask you to leave and you refuse to leave, that's where that's where the law enforcement comes, and you'll get a trespassing violation. It won't be a gun violation; it'll be a trespassing violation.
Well, if they don't allow, I don't want to give them any business if they don't allow.
I just set your stuff down.
Ready to go.
Set your stuff down and leave. So, we were talking about my classes though, and we were talking about. You asked me if I'd seen some crazy stuff in classes, or
have you ever had to
not pass somebody?
Yeah.
I
wait
never.
till they turn their back and tackle them.
No, I don't. I wouldn't let it get that far, but I do have this thing worked out with the guy here at the county, and I can't really tell anyone no unless someone's just being horribly unsafe. I can't say no. You can't have your concealed carry permit. What I can say is, you are being unsafe. You are not listening to me. You're not being respectful of your fellow students, and so you are not taking my class. Go take it from somewhere else. I don't want my name on that.
Have you ever had to do that?
I have not. I have had a couple people that I questioned. They were plenty safe, but I thought, it's a polite way to put this, something just didn't click.
A little crazy?
Crazy. I won't even say crazy, but they just maybe were a little unstable a little bit. And I will call the guy that issues the permits for Twin Falls County and say, hey, this guy's coming through. I'll let you make the call. It's not my place to make that call. And I don't know if they can actually make that call. I think
I don't know. It's a shall issue.
I think if they pass everything.
Do they have anything on the books that say?
I don't know. That's not really my.
A bit of
that's not my area.
On your permit there.
It's not my area, and I've actually had him call me and ask me about people.
Well, people are weird when they first start carrying guns. Anyway,
they are.
Remember when you first started carrying?
Oh yeah.
Everywhere I went, I felt like I was doing something wrong.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna get caught.
And you want to touch it all the time and
make sure it's still there.
It's funny because you can actually see when you go around town. You can actually, if you look around, you can kind of see who might be carrying a gun for the first time. It's you can't necessarily see the firearm. Well, actually, a lot of them do carry it really crappy, but they'll touch it all the time with their hand, or they'll keep their arm down, like protecting it. Have you never seen this? Yeah. They'll keep their arm down, or they'll touch it with their elbow. Or I've actually seen one guy walking around actually resting his arm on it.
Oh yeah, that's inconspicuous.
Yeah, so I've seen that around, but it's just something that, get a proper holster, spend some money. The gun is not going to fall out of that holster if you are doing it right. You got to spend as much on gear as you would a quality firearm. So if you're willing to fork out $600, $700, $800 on a firearm, you better be willing to spend anywhere from $60 to $120 on a decent holster. One that fits you, and then possibly another $50 or $60 on a decent gun belt, depending on how you're going to carry. Carry it properly. It's not going to fall out. No one is going to know that you have it.
I've seen people at the liquor store talking trash and whipping out their concealed carry permit. I'm like, dude, just shut your face and go home.
Oh, trying to tell everyone that they've got a...
Yeah. Showing it, pulling it out, showing everybody. Look at what I got. That's why they can't mess with me. I'm like, brother, everybody's got one of those. Get out of here.
Yeah. So I, we always hear, and he's pulling his permit out. So Mark always talks about people that show up at the gun store and want to show them their firearm. And they pull the firearm out and hand it to him, and they point it at him, and the thing's freaking loaded.
Yeah, they've seen guns before at the gun store.
Keep the damn thing in the holster.
Yeah, nobody cares.
Nobody cares.
Everybody's got one. It's nothing special. It's special to you because I'm telling you, that's those newbies that.
Yeah.
Look at this.
Look what I got. Look what I got.
Look what I can do. And after a little while, you're like, yeah, well, yeah.
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 I felt like I didn't do this on purpose. I was at some store or something. They needed to see my ID, and I keep my permit and my driver's license like together.
I've done that.
And I had them flipped around,
Right.
and my permit was on top of my driver's license. And I handed it to her, and she looks. She goes, "Oh, I know it's a guy thing, but I don't care to see your permit. I need your license." Oh, sorry about that.
I've done that before.
Felt like a goober.
I can't remember where it was. And they told me, you're not supposed to show anybody that. I'm like, it's a state-approved ID.
You're not supposed to show anybody that.
Yeah, I said it's a state ID. It's a state-issued ID. It says you want to know who I am is all. There you go.
You're not supposed to show anyone your concealed carry permit.
Yeah.
I think you're not supposed to show anyone your firearm. I think that's what.
Yeah, well, it was still kind of new, I guess. I don't know. But, yeah, it was my driver's license in a plastic case, and this one was right on top, so I just pulled it out. Here you go.
Right.
And I didn't even expect her to read it. It's just, it's an ID. It's a state-issued ID.
Did she touch it like this?
No, and she said, you're not supposed to show anybody that. And I'm like, it's an ID. You just wanted an ID. There you go. I remember where that was at now.
That's funny. Where was it at?
At a Kami yogurt shop.
Kami yogurt shop. What is locally? What yogurt shop was it?
I don't know.
Was it Kiwi Loco?
No. A little bigger than that.
Orange Leaf?
A little bigger.
Baskin Robbins?
Let's just a little bigger.
I don't know where else.
It was nowhere.
Okay. Tarver causing trouble at the local yogurt shop.
Well,
again.
those guys want to sue everybody all the time. I ain't messing with them. It was just an ID. There was no firearm there.
Okay.
That they know of.
So, besides this one you just bought, have you bought all your firearms, or there's some cool ones you've been looking at?
I am
anything?
looking.
I still haven't bought anything.
I'm shopping. I got to get something else. I just don't know what it is.
I'm really thinking about picking up a 380 EZ. I really am. I don't know that it's not something I'd carry, but God, it would come in super handy in class.
I'm just not sold on the 380 round.
That gun, though, for class is beautiful. If they made that in a 9, that would be awesome.
You know what kills me is we do all this ballistics gel and all this stuff, and it's not real world stuff.
Right.
I mean, if you get shot in the chest and don't hit a rib and it's just passing through the lungs, that's like nothing. It's just going to go right through. If you start hitting bones and stuff and muscle tissue, I mean, it's all theory.
Right.
Because nobody's out there shooting up people.
So is your theory that a hollow point, typically, if it doesn't hit a bone, if it doesn't hit, it's going to blow right through?
Well, you get some of these
open up properly
that hit ballistic gel and go 12 inches. It's like, jeez.
Yeah, how thick is a person? It depends on where you hit them, right?
It depends on where you hit them. Depends on, I don't know. I've never shot them.
Well, yeah, I know either have I, but that's
But they were opening
good to
up.
Think about.
They were opening up in surgery. I mean, remember they had that big old complaint about the black talons, which who knows? People are so fake. Everything's a false story now.
Do you have any black talons?
I do not. Do you have some?
No.
I will take some if anybody's got them out there.
Yeah, I know. I just was asking. Out of anyone I know, I thought maybe you would have some.
No, I never did.
I was going to pay you lots of money for a couple boxes if you did.
Didn't get those, but yeah, I don't know. It's all theory, and I don't too much care for the ballistics gel. You get to wearing heavy jackets and bone and muscle tissue, and it's all different.
And they talk about too sometimes.
But I don't trust the 380 to do enough
damage.
I'm afraid the 10 millimeters got too much penetration, and I'm afraid the 380 don't have enough.
Yeah, I know. I mean, carry it if you want for self-defense. I'm not encouraging anyone to carry the 10 millimeter self-defense. I think it's
That's a hell of a run.
I think it's more of a woods gun. You know what I'm saying? You're out on the 4-wheeler. You're out, in grizzly country.
That's what I was thinking to say. People carrying that for a bear gun. A bear.
Yeah.
Whoop a bear with a switch. Yeah, a bear. Man, and you're going to shoot some guy with that?
Yeah.
200-pound guy? It's going right through him.
I think it might.
It's going right through him. It's taking some bone out the back too.
We need to find
it
us.
Can hit bone.
We need to find us
a
roadkill deer. haul it back to the range here. We'll hang it up. We'll shoot at it.
But you know yourself, take your deer and plug him in the chest, and it's going to go through like paper.
I've had a lot of hunting rounds that typically will zip right through.
Yeah.
So
I think that 10 millimeter is going to do the same thing.
it may.
I mean, even if it expands, it ain't going to stop. It's going through. Anyway, I don't know where we got off on that.
I don't know. Just talking about the 10 millimeter again. So until then, I think we are done for the evening.
Be safe at Mardi Gras, people.
If you go to Mardi Gras, be safe. Actually, just be safe wherever you're at. Crowds, anywhere. I mean, summer's coming up. People are going to be, starting to travel. School gets out, and just keep up your essay. Notice what's going on around you. Take precautions. Don't leave your firearms in your car. Lock your cars. There's so many car burglaries going on here locally in town.
People just check the cars.
They just check the cars. They're going through whole parking lots and just smashing windows and grabbing stuff. If you've locked your car and you left a gun or a firearm or anything of value, lock it up in there. Get a little gun safe. Do something. You can use those firearms safe for more than just firearms. I mean, you can stick other stuff in there, cable them to your seat. They won't even see it. Just stuff's getting stole every day in this town. I mean, they're hitting whole parking lots.
Well, we're about to have the time change again, and it's about to warm up, so all the craziness starts happening again.
Exactly. People are going to start coming out of their houses. Everyone's got a little bit of cabin fever.
Well, when it gets a little cold, everything stops, but once it warms back up, here comes all the nuts again.
Yeah. They got to get their money so they can take it down and go swimming at Durkee's Lake. But that's where all the... Never mind. Okay. Until then, I think we are done, and we'll be back at it next week. Bye.